Hey, friends. Sitting out enjoying a little bit of sunshine today. Just thinking about different things. And I was thinking about how it's different raising a child who is almost an adult. I've done this one time before, but I think I was preoccupied with younger children then. It was different. Having a child who is almost an adult but still living at home and still in high school, it's hard. It's like I've always been the type of parent that I wanted my kids to behave because it was the right thing to do, not because they thought mom and daddy's going to find out and I'm going to be in trouble. You do the right thing because it's the right thing. I've always believed in developing character and morals and just a good person. You want to raise a good person to go out into the world. And so when they, maybe make choices that you don't agree with, it's not like as a adult child that you can really bring down the hammer, lots of punishments or anything of that nature. Um, I think you talk to them and you lay out before them choices and consequences, and you hope they understand it and they choose the right choice. And you pray an awful lot. But ultimately, our adult children make their own choices. I've talked with several parents in the last little while. And, we tend, when something happens, we see something in the news like the recent uh, stabbing at the track meet. I've seen a lot of people point fingers to the parents of the person accused of doing the stabbing. But, I can't do that because once a child is grown, you really have no uh, recourse in a lot of ways, especially if they're grown enough to be out of your house. Now, granted, he was still a teenager, so yes, they did have some control. But like an adult child, I see people all the time saying, well, he just wasn't raised right or she wasn't raised right. And I disagree with that because you can raise your children in church in a godly home, surrounded by Christian people and Christian environment. And when they go out into the world and they make their own choices, and sometimes those choices are not what you would have them choose. So I don't think we can blame the parents. Um, that's a something that I've thought a lot about. These adult children are, you don't have control. You don't make their choices for them anymore. So I think that's why it's so important to pour into them when they're younger and just pray. The Bible says that God's word doesn't come back empty, and so we pour His word in them, and they know the truth, but they have to choose it. But yeah, parenting's certainly not for sissies. It's tough, and the different seasons of it. When you have a lot of little kids, you're stressed and you're tired, and it seems like there's so much work. But now looking back, I think older kids is harder than younger kids. At least with younger kids, you have a sense of control. I mean, I really miss the days that I could just shop and buy the clothes that I thought looked good on them and they just wore them. Now they have their own opinion about their style, so it's a little bit more difficult. But if you're in the trenches of parenting, I want to encourage you, reach out to maybe an older experienced parent if you have concerns or questions, or if you just need to vent. When we were fostering and we had a lot of kids, at that time there wasn't a large community of foster parents around us. And I never felt like I could vent my frustrations that are normal because I always felt like everybody would be judging me and saying, well, you chose it. You didn't have to do it. So, I always want to be available for you if you're parenting and it's tough and you just need somebody to talk to. If you just need to say, I'm not enjoying being a mom right now, that's okay. Because I think we've all been there. And I just want you to know you do have support. I hope you guys are staying prayed up and keep your kids prayed up. And just know that we're on your side and we're here to support you. You guys have a great day.